Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in and checking out my latest video. Now, today's video is going to be talking about the upcoming matchup between Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao versus Keith one-time Thurman. So this is going to be a really good card, guys. I've been waiting for this fight for quite a while, so definitely tune in July the 20th. And also check out Caleb Plant on this card as well. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch. So with no further ado, I'm going to talk about both of these fighters. Um, and also break down the skills that they have, ultimately some keys to this fight, in my opinion, who wins this matchup between Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman. So let's get right into it. So let's first start off with Keith Thurman and what he brings to the table in this fight. So Keith Thurman, he's had a lot of issues recently staying healthy. He's been inactive in the sport, and he's coming off a performance against Josecito Lopez where he was hurt in that fight. He did not look that good, and a lot of people don't know what kind of version of Keith Thurman we're going to get in this fight. Now, to me, in my opinion, what makes this fight intriguing is Thurman. I believe he's going to be at 100% for this matchup because this is a fight that he's really wanted. Manny Pacquiao is a legend who's known worldwide. So you beat a guy like that, you put your name out to everyone in the world, and you kind of prove a statement. And I think that's what Keith Thurman is going to try to do in this fight. Now, Thurman, when I look at him skill-wise, Thurman is very good when he's counter-punching, when he's using lateral movement, when he's timing his opponents coming in. He also is a fighter who has very good power. He's physically very strong. So Keith Thurman, he does a lot of things very well as a fighter. He has good power, and like I said, he boxes smart at times as well, especially when he gets hurt in fights. So his ring IQ is pretty good when you look at Keith Thurman, and he's beat some very good names at 147 pounds, such as Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. Now, Manny Pacquiao, living legend right now. When I look at Pacquiao, of course, he's a very aggressive fighter, combination puncher, uses a lot of odd angles that give his opponents a lot of trouble. His straight left hand is one of the best punches in the business. Pacquiao's been in there against everybody. He's super experienced as a fighter. So nothing that Manny Pacquiao is going to see is going to surprise him at all. And this is a true, like I said, living legend we got in this matchup July 20th versus Keith Thurman. Now, some keys for this matchup, guys, in my opinion. So when I look at this fight and I look at the styles that both of these guys bring to the table, for Keith Thurman to be successful in this fight, in my opinion, he's going to need to get Manny Pacquiao's respect early. So he's going to need to hurt him, Pacquiao, with a shot, or at least throw combinations or counters that are going to make Manny Pacquiao think about what's coming towards him. So the Pacquiao just can't come in unleashing these huge combinations that he's always used to doing. And I think that Thurman, his game plan is going to be to land and move around and kind of not let Manny Pacquiao set so he can unleash these huge combinations. That's going to be really big for Keith Thurman, is mixing up his game plan in this fight, in my opinion. And he doesn't want to stay in the pocket, in my view, very long with Manny Pacquiao because Pacquiao, I believe it favors him in this fight when this fight is in the pocket and they're trading. That favors Manny Pacquiao in this fight, in my opinion. Now, some keys for Manny Pacquiao in this fight. He's just got to make sure he doesn't get frustrated if Keith Thurman is moving around and counterpunching him and not engaging. I think Pacquiao needs to be smart, just relax. Keith Thurman might try to take away his straight left hand, eventually just realize that punch is going to land for Pacquiao. And I also think that Pacquiao, whenever he has Thurman backed up in the corner, he needs to unleash those combinations. And also, he just needs to constantly keep that pressure on Thurman and make Thurman move around the ring. Where Keith Thurman has not been active recently, Thurman is going to have some problems, I believe, conditioning-wise, with a guy like Pacquiao throwing so many odd angles, feinting, and things like that. Physically, it takes a toll on your body to have to defend against that. So I think that's going to be some keys for Manny Pacquiao in this fight, in my opinion. Now, looking at the fight, guys, talking about advantages that both fighters have over one another. Keith Thurman is physically the stronger fighter, in my opinion. He's physically bigger for this weight, so size will definitely be an advantage for Thurman. Also, I believe that Keith Thurman is probably the better counterpuncher of the two, in my view. Now, advantages that Manny Pacquiao has in this fight. I think that Manny Pacquiao has a better defense of the two. I think Manny Pacquiao has better hand speed of the two fighters, better foot speed, and he also uses a better variety of punches, in my opinion. So those are some advantages that I believe Pacquiao has in this fight, and also his experience is going to be another big factor and advantage that Manny Pacquiao has over Keith Thurman. So ultimately, guys, when I look at this fight, there's a couple different scenarios because a lot of people are saying, well, Thurman didn't look at his last fight. It's going to be easy for Pacquiao. But like I said, I think Thurman's going to come very motivated, and he has a lot of skills. And if he's using lateral movement and making Pacquiao think and throwing some shots with his power that Thurman possesses. If he gets Manny Pacquiao's respect, this is going to be a tough fight for Pacquiao. Now, however, Manny Pacquiao definitely can hurt Keith Thurman in this fight, in my view. And with his angles and a lot of things that he does, Keith Thurman's never faced a fighter remotely even close to Manny Pacquiao, in my opinion, in the professional ranks. And that's going to be a huge issue, is how do you really prepare for a guy like Manny Pacquiao if you haven't fought anybody even close to him, and where you're going to get the sparring partners to do that, you know? So that's an experience factor that you have to look at in this fight. So ultimately, guys, my prediction for this matchup, I actually believe that Manny Pacquiao is going to win a decision in this fight, a unanimous decision in my view. The reason why I think Pacquiao wins this fight, there's a couple different things. Keith Thurman, while he is a big puncher and he does a lot of things very well, he also throws very wide punches. Now, if you watch Manny Pacquiao fight, Manny Pacquiao, one of his best punches is his straight left hand. That is his best punch. Straight down the pipe. And it's a punch that when Keith Thurman throws those wide shots, Manny Pacquiao can land that flush down the middle at any point. And that's something that a lot of people don't talk about in this fight, is Keith Thurman, his kind of style, the way he throws. Pacquiao has a lot of opportunities to exploit that. And I also think with his constant pressure and him knowing in the past that Keith Thurman has been hurt multiple times, Pacquiao, with the type of angles he uses and the way he sets up fighters, because this is the smartest version we've ever seen of Pacquiao, in my opinion. He's not the reckless, aggressive guy who doesn't set things up and everything like that. He's a lot smarter than he was in the past. He learned from that Marquez loss. I just think that Pacquiao, with the type of angles he has and underrated bodywork that he finishes off combinations with as well, I think that at some point he hurts Keith Thurman once or even twice in this fight, and we're going to see if Thurman can survive the onslaught from Pacquiao, because it's a whole different ball game when guys like Soto Karass hurt you, or Josecito Lopez, Sean Porter hurt you. This is Manny Pacquiao. This is a guy who has finished numerous fighters in his career, and even though he doesn't get knockouts still these days like he used to, he still is dropping fighters and hurting fighters in almost every fight he's fighting in. So that's still impressive and shows you that his power is still there. So ultimately, in my opinion, guys, I think Manny Pacquiao wins this fight, in my opinion. I just think that Thurman, it's going to be a lot for him to handle Pacquiao even at this stage of his career. The interesting thing, though, is it's tough always when you pick fighters like Pacquiao at this age of their career, because people get old overnight. And Pacquiao's put in a grueling training camp. I've been watching lots of videos, and that can take a toll on your body. You really don't know until fight night what kind of version we're going to get, even though everything looks great in training camp and things like that. You never know if you bring yourself out in the gym and things like that. But Pacquiao's very experienced. I just think that him being in with such good competition, Manny Pacquiao, he's seen counterpunchers like Marquez. He's seen big punchers in his career. He's seen almost everything that you can throw at him. There's nothing that's going to surprise him. And I think that's going to make the difference in a fight like this, where on paper both guys have skills that can really affect one another. I just think that Pacquiao holds too many advantages in this fight, in my opinion. But like I said, that age, you never know, guys. So that's what's going to be interesting about this fight. And I'm really intrigued to see what Keith Thurman does in this matchup, and basically what happens to the loser of this fight, where they go from here. Let me know what you guys think on this fight, guys. Who do you ultimately think wins this matchup? Looking forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you very much. And once again, appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you.